The Team VVV Awards 2018, sponsored by Ben Green Racing and Thrustmaster. Hello viewers and welcome to the second week of the Team VVV Awards 2018. Today we're going to be looking at the best DLC, and to help us come to our decisions again, I'm joined by Martin.
Hi guys.
And Kevin.
Hello.
So chaps, one of the big areas with games these days is DLC, and DLC's changed a lot over the years. Years ago, developers would make a game and then there would be the opportunity for them to keep developing DLC from scratch to add to that game that we all knew and loved. Now it's planned in advance and it's released, even though it's produced simultaneously with the package itself. But it's become big business and all the publishers are doing it. And so now you have an area where releasing a small morsel is not enough. You need to be bigger and more creative. And so here we have the top nominations, of course, Redout, Earth Pack, Dirt Rally PSVR, Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels, Project Cars 2 Fun Pack, and Assetto Corsa Ferrari 70th Anniversary Pack. So I guess kicking off with the Redout Earth Pack, I'm going to talk about this because obviously I'm the one who's been playing it predominantly more than you guys. Redout for me,
Redout fan in the world. I just want to point out.
You know what? It's brilliant. I mean, these tracks are all great. Redout Pack was really nice. I would say it's just, and the tracks are all fantastic. Not as creative as some of the other packs that have been out there, but they all have again nice look, feel, music. I thought it was a fun pack, if unspectacular, compared to some of the sort of deep space packs they had already released. So I think it was a really nice, solid addition to that one. Moving on to the Dirt Rally PSVR, of course, Kevin does have an opinion on this one.
Not a popular one, but yeah.
But let's bring a bit of chat now into it, guys. Kevin, kick off with this Dirt Rally PSVR.
Yeah, so initially, anyone that's seen my videos would, it become apparent that I was pretty disappointed with this DLC. I was expecting Dirt Rally in a VR environment, and what I got instead was almost like a watered down Dirt Rally. It felt the physics or the handling, there was just something that couldn't quite translate that sort of intensity that Dirt Rally has. Whether the track was not as bumpy or the car didn't tilt as much, the suspension seemed like it could take on anything and didn't really move as much as I'd like to see. So for me, this pack was disappointing simply because it didn't live up to the greatness that was Dirt Rally. It won our best game for 2017 awards. So, it was a fantastic game that we all loved. And I didn't quite get on with this this VR expansion. And, it was an unpopular opinion. Most people loved the game and stuff. But for me, it just didn't have that intensity and didn't sort of translate the thrill of rallying through the VR medium.
Martin, your thoughts?
I obviously agree with Kevin. It was definitely a downgrade compared to the original release. I think in fairness to it, it was a complete package just in terms of content. At the time, we had obviously Drive Club VR, which was again watered down, but it was very compromised in terms of the track selection and things like that. Whereas at least in Dirt Rally, it was a complete experience, and it was also, I think, one of the more intense VR racing experiences on PSVR at least. But it's just a shame it wasn't quite on a par with the original game.
I think that's it, really, isn't it? I mean, it's nice to see PSVR racing games. They are a thing of the past, as it seems right now. And it was nice to see that they worked. Obviously, one car on a course, rallying gives you that opportunity.
Half a car.
On a course.
But I think it becomes apparent that it's too early, isn't it, for racing genre in VR? We just need more power to really sort of bring these titles to life. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's it for the AAA VR experiences for the current gen PlayStation.
Yeah, it's showing its limitations, unfortunately. Yeah. We're only over a year on, I think, since the release of PSVR.
Yeah, well, we say things as we see them, don't we? That's what we do at VVV. Whether the opinions are popular or not, we say it as we see it. I felt when the game was released, we immediately all noticed there was something different with the physics. It wasn't playing the same way. We immediately noticed that. Amazingly, Codemasters said it was no different, and the community that support Codemasters considered us immediately wrong, that we mustn't know what we're talking about. And then a few months later, lo and behold, there's news that actually their graphics engine doesn't work as well, and it wouldn't be in. It affects the physics in Formula One and their graphics engine. So you're thinking, oh, there's a physics connection there. But either way, ultimately, that's another, worthy addition. And, I think as though we're critics in that sense, it's still nice to see that they made that effort and gave people
a very fun
DLC.
Well. But I would say don't go expecting Dirt Rally, so you might have that sort of come down. But if you're looking for a fun rally title in VR, yeah, I can absolutely recommend it.
Absolutely. So the next one is Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels pack. Big surprise, this one. You never really know what to expect. You're expecting another, dirt park or something, but this was quite expansive. It was quite unusual, visually stunning, and extremely ambitious as well. Martin, tell us your thoughts on Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I mean, like yourself, I was completely surprised and blown away by this release, to be honest. I think Forza Motorsport has been guilty of really churning out DLC packs month after month. It gets a bit predictable.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you had Forza Horizon 3 with a proper expansion pack. You're not just a DLC car pack, but an expansion pack that really expanded the game in an unexpected way. I think really it's the perfect sort of DLC for Forza Horizon as well, because it really complemented the game. It really encapsulated that sense of fun that Forza Horizon is all about and just took it to another level. I think a lot of people play Forza Horizon, they just spend their time doing crazy jumps and stunts and that kind of thing, and this game really exploited that. But yeah, just terrific fun. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Crazy car designs as well that you can't play in other games. Just a really also good value, I should add as well. Lots of events to keep you playing. For me, definitely the standout out of all the DLC packs last year.
Yeah, it created like your childhood fantasy, didn't it? Like this giant Hot Wheels track on this sort of amazing island.
Yeah,
and it sort of ticked a few of the boxes there you'd like to see as a kid, and it sort of really brought the Hot Wheels to life, didn't it? And of course, like you said, you had the vehicles that you wouldn't otherwise drive. You had these amazing tracks that looped, and very colourful, very bright, very vibrant, like you say, very in fitting with the Forza Horizon 3 theme.
It did remind me that the designs of the tracks do remind me a little bit of Trackmania as well. It's all really over the top designs for loops and corkscrews and jumps and.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's amazing how the developers have brought this to life. They've really sort of been let loose, haven't they? And sort of gone all out on this expansion, which is really good to see. Technically, Forza Horizon 3 is amazing how they can push the engine this far on not very powerful hardware. And certainly with the Hot Wheels, they certainly kept that on par with the graphical prowess of Horizon 3. So it was really exciting to see Hot Wheels, and all these DLC nominations are all sort of car packs, but the Hot Wheels stands out as a real sort of beefy expansion to the game. So it certainly does stand out amongst nominations.
It's great to see a DLC that actually innovates as well.
Yes.
In that sense, I just love the creativity they poured into it.
Yeah, but certainly, it is among the most creative of the year by some margin, and it's great to see proper DLC in that way. It was there's full expansion to the game that was different to the game as well. But I think also from a technical perspective, when you see the draw distance, the range, the detail, what they're pulling out of the Xbox One hardware.
It's unbelievable.
The game is impressive enough, but even this is fantastic. So that's Forza Horizon 3. Moving on to the Project Cars Fun Pack. Now, what do you guys feel about the Project Cars? I guess we talk a bit about Project Cars DLC. We've listed the Fun Pack there specifically, but tell me your thoughts on that, Kevin.
Yeah, it's one of those DLCs that is a little bit more sort of substantial than just a simple sort of car pack, I guess, because you have these Rallycross circuits, classic stuff from the 80s, I believe. So you had 80s cars as well to match those amazing tracks. So you've got like the Audi S1 and things like that, the sort of the dream machines for the Rallycross discipline. And it's fantastic. Anything to do with classic cars and tracks, I'm all in for. So it was great to see this pack, and something a little bit different. We've seen Slightly Mad introduce classic content before in their titles, so I guess it was always going to be likely that they would add this to Project Cars 2. But with the sort of Rallycross angle, a little spin on it, it's just something a little bit more interesting and new to the genre, which you don't often see. So it's really good to see. The pack is fantastic,
and it builds on the whole Rallycross aspect in the fact that Project Cars has better Rallycross than the official Rallycross game.
Yeah, I was gonna add that.
It's fun. It's it is what it says. It's a fun pack. So
it's a fun pack. Well, I think on that we'll move on to the Assetto Corsa Ferrari 70th anniversary pack. Who wants to have a chat about that? Lots of Ferraris.
There's not an awful lot I think we can say on it, to be honest, but it is a really, from what we can see, it's a very solid pack. It's a good tribute, I think, to Ferrari, in that it spans multiple eras. You've got vintage race cars right up to modern day supercars. In fact, I believe it is the first game to feature the Ferrari 812 Superfast, which is
cool.
I think it's the fastest naturally aspirated Ferrari there is at the moment. So,
well, they don't call it super fast for nothing.
It lives up to the name, yeah, exactly. But
it sort of brings you on a journey through the history of Ferrari, doesn't it? Which I love this sort of stuff. It's just really up my street there. Going from the sort of classic to the modern day, you see the transitions and how they're improving aerodynamically, engines and stuff. And you find out that even back 20, 30, 40 years ago, they still had amazingly fast cars in a straight line, but it's just modern day supercars, much better through the corners and stuff. But these legendary Ferraris, there's something else. And I just love reliving the past with these sort of companies. They've had some truly spectacular pieces of automotive history. It's those GTOs. Wow,
it's definitely a pack for hardcore enthusiasts. Which I think Assetto Corsa really plays on. There's some cars in there that only I think really true enthusiasts would appreciate.
And it sorely needs these cars, because Assetto Corsa doesn't have a boastful amount of cars. They all handle amazingly well. So in that respect, it's fantastic even just get 100 cars. But they sorely needed something like this, and it really does add to the sort of diversity of the car list. So.
Yeah, these old cars are a real challenge to drive as well. I was driving the 250 GTO and 250 GTO wheel from Thrustmaster a while ago, and
lovely.
You're going back to the 8-shifter gearbox, and it's a lot more work to drive. You've really got to understand braking in particular. You've got to get your gearing right when you're slowing down. It's a lot to think about. In terms of how you drive these cars. They don't have tons of grip. They're very narrow profile on the wheels. It was, and obviously the tires back then weren't grippy in the same way they are today. So it was an art to driving. It was an understanding of driving. You need a lot more experience to get the most out of them, but you really do feel like you earn it. You really do feel like you're doing more to get the car around, and it's very rewarding to drive those cars. And as you were saying, wonderful heritage at Ferrari, and Assetto Corsa clearly have a strong relationship with Ferrari, and they've built upon it and in the best possible way. So fantastic package there for them. And so yes, we'll just go have a roundup then. Really, I guess it's I guess I hand over to you, Martin, in terms of what would you say is your DLC of the year?
Definitely Forza Horizon 3.
Just like that.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't need much time to think of that one. I just think, like I said before, it's it really expanded the game in a very unexpected way. It adds a lot of content to an already substantial game, and just above all, it innovates. I think more than your sort of standard DLC packs. So well done to Playground Games on that.
Absolutely. Kevin, your thoughts?
I guess for me, I guess the Hot Wheels pack does edge out the likes of Assetto Corsa and Project Cars. For me, it's probably the standout DLC. Like Martin said, they innovated, they created a new environment, with new cars and probably new physics and going on. And like I said, it's like a child's playground. They really sort of brought that fantasy to life there with Hot Wheels, and we just want to see more of these substantial DLC packs that truly add something different to the game to really sort of keep the longevity of the title. So for me, yes, it has to be, I think, Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels.
So for myself, obviously that's 2 votes for Forza Horizon 3, and for myself as well, Forza Horizon 3. You know, I think, you know, they're all sort of good packs for various different reasons, but Forza Horizon 3 surprised me and excited me in different ways. And I just thought it was good fun. It was something completely different. And I like that. You know, so many of the audience are bored of, why haven't you put a racetrack in there, Spa or something? People were moaning. And I think, no, do something new, do something creative, because you can. You know, push the technology. It was a different idea. And I think a big well done to Playground Games for having that vision to try something different with Forza Horizon. I'm sure a lot of people have enjoyed it immensely. So the winner then is Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels pack. Well done to Playground Games for another cracking development this year in terms of moving that forward. And we look forward to their future developments as well. No doubt we'll see more on that on E3. And that's it for the best DLC pack. Winner there, Forza Horizon 3. And later this week, we've got a lot more to come, and there'll be more from us very soon. The Team VVV Awards 2018, sponsored by Ben Green Racing and Thrustmaster.